Testy, wordsy, testy, wordsy, test. Ah, are we live? I think we're live. I hope we're live. Welcome to the stream where we have a little bit of stuff to talk about, where we have Leeds United's most recent probable move to discuss. This one has been specifically called out by, if I can find him, where's he gone? Mr. Graham Smith, who, if I just quickly jank that about, do that, and do that. Has tweeted out that Leeds United are now close to a deal. 1 second. There we go. With Lille for left-back Gabriel Gudmundsson. Understand he could arrive in England tomorrow as talks continue. Leeds saying nothing on it right now. This is, in my opinion, a very, very solid deal for the club to make. Gudmundsson is a pretty damn good left-back. And a lot of people will look at it and be a little bit spooked and be like, well, I've not heard of him before, all this kind of stuff that people normally say when they're looking at players. But there's a lot in him, and I'm going to have a little bit of a dive through sort of what we can expect from the move in the stream, a little bit of a dive through what you guys think about the move in this stream, and ultimately sort of see where we're all landing, I think. And ultimately we'll end up wherever we're going, I suppose. That's a very weird way of phrasing it. So, this is where I see if the thing works. No, hold on. There we go. Oh, I can do it without having to unfull screen. So, Gabriel Gudmundsson is the kind of player that I think is going to do a fairly solid job for Leeds. So, looking at statistics, a lot of people will see him and get a little bit scared and get a little bit sort of apprehensive, I suppose, because his numbers on the face of it aren't screaming the perfect left back. So specifically, non-penalty goals, fairly decent, top 23%, that's not bad at all. Outperforms XG fairly vastly, and in terms of height, he's about 6 foot tall. So is exactly what Leeds United fans are sort of screaming out for recently. Hello, by the way, guys. For some reason, the chat box down, there we go. The chat box down there wasn't showing up. It is now, so hopefully that all works out. His assist numbers, however, are a little bit less ideal. His assist numbers being sort of 1 every 25 games. That's the direct opposite of what we would expect from Junior Firpo, whose numbers were frankly absolutely fucking ridiculous. Junior Firpo last season was absolutely wild, and to be honest, if we're able to sort of focus on making more Firpo things happen, then I'd be very happy, but we're unable to do so, so that's a little bit of a shame. Yeah, his assist numbers are a little bit low. His expected assists are sort of fine. He's a little bit lower than average for your standard sort of fullback, but that's due to the role that he tends to play. I'll get into that one in a minute. Non-penalty XG and XG, that doesn't matter too much in shot creating actions. Also not brilliant, but again, that's because of role-based things that I'll talk about in a second. It is passing that is really good. The passing segment here is genuinely fantastic and is what I think needs highlighting when it comes to Gudmundsson. So specifically, I'll zoom in a little bit just so everything's a little bit more good. There we go. So passes attempted, he's sort of average, but that's fine because that's system-based more than anything. Pass completion, above average. Very good, especially considering that he is passing a fair amount. Progressive passes, more than average. So he's going to help us get up the pitch, which is sort of really important. This is where it gets really sort of impressive, in my opinion, though, because progressive carries is in the top 8% of all fullbacks. There's a lot of fullbacks, and that includes primarily successful progressive carries, because it doesn't include absolutely everything, because including absolutely everything would be stupid and it would make the stat worthless, which it's not. Successful take-ons, top 10% as well, which means that he's very good at dealing with, if a winger is trying to challenge him, dealing with that, finding his way around it, and sort of wiping out that threat as soon as he can. Touches in the attacking penalty area, above average, again, because he's someone that likes to get forward a bit. I'm a fan of that. And he receives a lot of progressive passes as well. A lot of this, for me, is saying that he's quite good at this sort of getting us up the pitch job, which is very, very important. A lot of people might not agree with that, because they might be saying we need to be doing more defending in the Premier League, and that's completely fine. You may hold that opinion, that's okay. However, and a lot of people will say that you need to do the more defensive stuff, which you will, but I will get into that in a minute. But with the progressive stuff, if you are being penned in by the likes of a City or a Liverpool, the players that are going to get you up the pitch aren't going to be your wingers. They're not going to be an attacking midfielder. It's going to be your fullbacks, because they're able to get the ball in a little bit of space out on the flank, push it out to someone, and get you up the pitch. And that kind of skill set is what we will need in order to sort of build these successful situations for ourselves. And if we don't do that, we're going to be in more trouble than we expect. But I think we'll be okay, because I think we're going to be dealing with it. How reliable is whoever's linking us with him? It's Graham Smith, so it's the Yorkshire Evening Post, who tend to be very, very constantly spot on. And where Byram ends up next season, I don't know. I don't know if his future's been announced yet. I'd see him maybe as like a bench option for us, but I'm not 100% certain. This is where people might get a bit mad, because defensive numbers. And this is where I would like to clear something up. Last season, I'm going to open that in a new tab just so I can look at it in a minute. Lille didn't have to do that much of the defensive work. So specifically, scroll down a bit. Yeah, possession stats. They've got a hell of a lot of possession. So play against Rouen, 72%, against Nantes, 71, Auxerre, 70, against Saint-Étienne, 67, 61 against Feyenoord. Because a lot of what Lille were doing, and this is going to be a little bit difficult to get back round, was the more attacking stuff. It's the same reason that if you were to look at our fullbacks from this season, you would see that their numbers aren't exactly fantastic in this regard. So if I jump over to Junior Firpo, for example, his blocks numbers are shocking, because he didn't have to do much of it. However, rest of his numbers sort of inflated, because we were doing a lot of stuff higher up the pitch. That's where Junior Firpo was. Oh, look at how many green bars there are there. It's fantastic. So we can do the progressive stuff. And in terms of... This is where I'm going to have to find him again, isn't it? Not Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson. In terms of his success rate at doing these things, which is what we need to be looking at, he's pretty damn good. And the names he's being compared with being Joachim Mahler, who is a very, very good fullback. Being Dalot, who... Admittedly, he plays for a team that we don't like very much, who is a very, very good fullback. Someone like Lazari, who is excellent. Cambiasso, Mwene is quite good. Dodo is a very solid fullback. I'll see if I can find his defensive numbers, just to clarify a touch. There we go. So his tackle 1 percentage, 63.9%. That's fucking excellent. That's genuinely fantastic. Hold on, I'll see if it's in his extended scouting report, just because I keep forgetting that those exist. There we go. It's not showing me the fully extended one. There we go. Shooting, passing, pass types, goal shot creation, defensive stuff. Which is looking worse than I thought. However, for some reason, it's not doing things like tackle 1 percentage, which is a little bit of a shame. Where the hell is that? Why isn't that here? He draws a lot of fouls, apparently. Wins a fuck ton of his aerials, so 88%. Sorry, he's the top 12% with aerials. A little bit of a confusing way of looking at it. Sorry, I'm very tired. I've not had much sleep. Working till 6 AM yesterday, which is why I couldn't put a video out. I'm exhausted. But it's fine. But the guy's good. The guy's very good. And this is where we get to a little exciting, fun thing, which is maybe perhaps planning a stream that I'll be doing tomorrow. Because we're assembling, fellow jet washers. You're goddamn right we're assembling. There is a flight from Lille tomorrow, which arrives at 11:02. Setting off at 11. Hold on. Because timing is weird. So it'll be in the air for about an hour. I'm wondering, is it worth doing another jet washing stream? Because I found that quite fun last time I did it. I will pop that little query in the chat and see if you guys have any interest in it. But I would be excited to do so. Do we do a fly along of Gudmundsson? Yay or nay? Because I think that could be a nice little adventure. It could be quite fun. What else will be a nice adventure is if down below you were to A, subscribe to the channel, because that's always massively appreciated, but B, get a ticket for the Leeds Creator Cup. It's getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm very excited for the entire thing, to be completely honest with you. I've prepared something super secret and scary for some other players, which I'm not going to talk about yet, but you'll find out on the day. And yeah, I'm pumped for the entire day, to be honest. I've spent a lot of time organising this thing, and as many people as can be there as possible will be fantastic. Every single penny that comes from you guys is going directly to Prostate Cancer UK as well. All the other costs covered, sorted. Plus, Baby Zebra Games going to be there. Yeah, Joe, I love your streams. You should get more out, and I'm buzzing. We need a left back. Got none of the club. It's a good point, and thank you. I'm glad you like the streams, but I'm doing my best to get them out as much as I can. It's because I'm also working full time at the moment, which is absolutely nightmarish. Combining that with this is just So that will be tomorrow morning if you guys are feeling it. That could be quite fun, maybe. 10 a.m.
You, Joe. What did I miss?
I forgot that super chats were a thing. That was terrifying. You didn't miss too much. You simply missed that Gabriel Goodmanson is on his way to Leeds United, which should be very fun. He is heading to Leeds tomorrow, according to Graham Smith, for a medical, which is a real fast turnaround time. And then probably, I would say, announced Monday if I was having a guess, just because that's the way that we tend to do things as of late. Understand he could arrive in England tomorrow as talks continue. Leeds saying nothing on it right now. I imagine Leeds will say nothing on it until he's basically announced, to be honest. They're not going to say, yeah, we've signed Goodmanson, but we're not announcing him yet, because that feels a little bit pointless. Whereas this is a sort of a wise enough approach. But yeah, that's what you've missed, which is relatively simple. But it's all good. We'll now have a little bit of a short natter about any questions that you guys have. Are someone going to hijack this deal? If they did, I'm sure they'd find a way of spending like £40 million on him. It's not a £40 million player. I don't know what we're looking at in terms of fee, which is a complicated one, because weirdly, with a lot of players that Leeds have an interest in, you'll have like numbers thrown around. So DR was like, Leeds have bid £23 million with, I've forgotten who else, but various Leeds players. You'll get, it'll cost this much. Whereas Goodmanson's been a little bit quiet on that front, and I'm a little bit confused by that. The number I've roughly heard approximated is about £7 million, which isn't a bad deal, to be fair. But who knows? I'm just going to see if I can do the .3D view thing. Because if I can, that's going to be absolutely spectacular and very much help the stream in the morning. Oh, there we go. My year-long premium from last year's Tanaka stream is still going. So if anyone fancies a little bit of a trip, hold on. This is what we're going to be doing. I wonder if there's a way that I can do it where we're watching from behind and I'm just sort of like sat in like the pilot seat. That could be quite fun. I don't know. It's up to you guys. If you guys like the idea of that, then I will absolutely go for that. But you'll have to shout your ideas at me in advance. Also, thing that I was forgetting. Did you not see the Premier League? It'll super chat it.
Did you not see the Premier League of him and Anton's stats in the fancy football draft already? Also, I sound like a robot, ha ha ha.
It's like a Welsh robot. It's great. It's not the full fantasy football thing. That's not how it works, because they've got basically like noted down things for every single footballer that is of a decent standing. So him being on the sort of fantasy football-y lists, not fantasy football lists, but you know what I mean, the player database isn't telling about him. It's just what they do. So that's a normal enough thing, which is fine, I think. It'll be alright. Gotta smash the like, let's so Jack can do this full time. I would quite like to be able to do this full time, but I also like my actual job, which makes it a little bit complicated. I would like you to like the stream though. That would be much appreciated. It always very much helps to push things in the right direction. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream there, because I was only going to do a short one because I have work starting in technically like half an hour ago, but 4 minutes. It's another 6, 7-ish hours, I think. I don't know. But yeah, tomorrow morning, maybe like 10 a.m. I don't know. It depends on when I'm able to do stuff. I will do my best to do a Goodmanson fly along. That could be absolutely fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember, get your tickets for the Creator Cup down below. It's £7 if you're an adult. It's £3 to bring children. It's fine. Massively appreciated if you can be there. Also, if you are a face painter or you know a face painter, get in touch with me by any route possible, because we're potentially going to do face painting at it, which should be quite nice. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you